Welcome back, everyone, to the Sunday Spotlight. And tonight, to be or not to be? That is not the question, as we are only one. But we do command legions. Bee Queen Bee is a 2026 RTS from Korean indie developer 3 Blanket Studio, which appears to be a 3-person team, and this is their debut effort. It just released last month, and it is completely free to play. Now, my antipathy for video game bees is well known. They're the bane of my existence and have been since at least Final Fantasy XI. But I figure it's time to face my fears, and what better way to do that than stepping into their stingers for an evening? Figuratively, I mean. Anyway, the concept jumped out at me, and I rather like what I've played so far. As you can see, it's got kind of a charming pixel art style, which contrasts nicely with the mass violence going on. The soundtrack has kind of a bouncy city pop feel to it. It's just from the menu, it's kind of putting a smile on my face. You can just sort of see the chaos going on screen here. Gameplay-wise, it has the structure of real-time strategy, but you really just command the titular Queen Bee. Functionally, you're a hero unit and a base builder, so you're superpowered but also mission critical. Thus, you give orders to your minions to gather honey, do battle, and generally you support them from the backline. If, like me, you're fond of selecting all and clicking attack move and letting the AI handle the rest, you'll feel right at home here. Plot-wise, it's real basic. We're a queen bee, we want honey, we need to keep the mooks in line. We're not here for an enlightening experience. This is no Claire Obscure. We're just here to have fun. So without further ado, let us begin. Haha! Strap in, folks. I brought a bunch of these. Alright. We'll go ahead and start on normal. I'm crashing. Everything's spinning. When was our last meal? Precisely 1 day, 4 hours, and 12 minutes ago, Your Majesty. Alright, so yeah, this is us, the Queen Bee, and this is our assistant, the Worker Bee, who I shall refer to as the Bean Counter. Hoocha! Anyway, no way, already? No wonder my belly feels slimmer. When we left the old hive, I swear we walked out with our hands full. Where did it all go? Yes, everyone left with their honey tanks full. But on the way, you said just a taste. You said just a taste, and 8 hours too, remember? Hey, a leader needs to take you somewhere better. It was an investment into our future. Or needs energy to take you somewhere better. It was an investment in our future. Beautiful eating. Hey, Orange, good to have you here. Alright, sure, whatever you say. Anyway, don't you smell something sweet? There's an intense honey scent from up there. Let's go check it out. Alright, so right-click to move the Queen Bee. Can only move on the meadow and cannot enter the forest. Alright. So yeah, we're off to find flowers, which is this game's resource piles, basically. There we are. Hey, we got some minions now. Awesome. I can see flowers over there. Jackpot! Smells like honey. Let's go eat some. Huh? But who are those chubby ones? The bumblebees got here first. If we don't drive them out, we'll get a taste of honey. Stealing someone else's dinner table? Let's wipe them out and eat. Attack! Alright, so yeah. Queen Bee's going to attack. And she is a fairly sturdy combatant. Big body, but nothing special. Alright, time to enjoy some delicious honey. Hold on. If we want to store honey, we need to build a hive first. You have to build it yourself, Your Majesty. Huh? Me? So hungry I can barely lift a finger. Without your power, we can't lay the foundation. Hurry and build it. Then you can eat honey. Yeah, if we want to stash tons of delicious honey, we need a sturdy hive, right? Fine, I'll build it. Move aside. Alright, so yeah, this is going to be our base building. There's really not a lot of complex RTS mechanics to it. It's more the interplay of commanding the Queen Bee and providing upgrades to your forces. But the management and base building aspect of it are pretty simple. Anyway, the hive is complete. The worker bees will start gathering honey, but we're defenseless right now. It's dangerous. No way. My precious honey. I mean my worker bees. I use pheromones to call the blade bees and keep us safe. Quick call, Your Majesty. Just place the pheromones and the troops will automatically hold that position. Alright. So yeah, we've got our squads down here, and we basically assign them to a position. This is how they fly out and attack and defend. So we're not controlling them directly, but we are giving them orders and placing them tactically. Anyway, alright, honey's all collected. Time to start the party. Huh? Why is there so little? Flowers were withered to begin with, so there wasn't much honey. That's all we could scrape together. Come on, who's this supposed to feed? We've got a whole family. That's why we have to move. Conveniently, there's a bigger flower field across the way. Now, lift the hive. Ugh, fine. If it's for delicious honey, I can carry this. But, wow, this is really heavy. Only you can lift the hive, Your Majesty. Just a little more effort. Once you're there, you can eat honey to your heart's content. Yeah, I feel like the bean counter here knows exactly how to play to his queen's sensibilities, and he's not really giving her orders, but he's smart enough that he knows how to. He's smart enough that he gets her to work even though she clearly does not want to. Anyway, we're gonna go hoist the hive aloft and just move it over here. Just like Terran buildings in StarCraft, basically. Landing complete. But Your Majesty, the vibe here is intense. I think we're near those bumblebees' base. Pfft, those guys from earlier? They were nothing. Let's just shove through and go. No, we're near their base. We don't know how many enemies will pour out. Charging in is too risky. Spread pheromones wide and establish a defensive line first. Alright. So now we're going to spread our forces across a few hexes here. Huh? That's all? There's only a few of them. I'll wipe them out and be right back. Wait, don't just charge in. That size is not normal. Really? Maybe they just ate more food. They're not just fat. It's all muscle. Their shells are much thicker too. They're ridiculously tough. Well, you know, they're still tutorial enemies. Ah, what's this? I hit and hit, they still won't go down. With our current firepower, we don't stand a chance. We need to share the honey we gather with the blade bees to make them stronger. And you should have told me sooner. Don't hold back. Feed them lots. A moment ago you said it was a waste. And only you can open the hive, Your Majesty. Hurry up and open it. Alright. My treasure vault. Alright, seal release. Everyone eat this, power up, and go teach those guys a lesson. Alright. So yeah, this is where we invest our resources and our forces. So let's upgrade our blade bees here. And let's see, basically just increasing their attack power, hit points here. Why not? Let's be generous. That's it, they were just hungry. Now that they've eaten, it's time to earn their keep. Let's go. Blow them away. Tear them to shreds. Alright. So yeah, we'll mostly be attacking from the back line and letting our boys do the majority of meat shielding. If we hadn't fed them honey earlier, we would have been in real trouble. Those bumblebees are no joke. We barely held on thanks to the boost. Before they come back, we need to strike. And we need to strike back. If we smash that bumblebee nest ahead, tons of honey will spill out. What? Honey's gonna spill out? You should have said so earlier. Everyone charge! Tasty honey over there. Hurry and grab it. Yeah, get you a woman that is as simple to please as this queen bee right here. Yeah, giant alien bumblebees are no joke. Alright. Onward! So yeah. Pretty straightforward stuff. But I do kind of like the shift in tone the game has, the way the music kind of picks up as battle happens. Another little touch that's in line with... kind of in line with modern RTSs. Let's see. Alright, everyone, good work. Now grab every last drop of honey here. Don't leave a single drop. It's way too far from here. If you want to collect it, you'll have to move the hive like before, Your Majesty. Alright. Let's see. So yeah, enemies can destroy your allied beehive. If it's destroyed, you lose half your honey. So yeah, in addition to flower patches, we destroy enemy hives, get their honey, and our empire expands. Alright, get harvesting, men. That sweet smell. There's an incredibly strong honey scent coming from above. Definitely. Yes, with a scent this strong, there must be a huge flower field up ahead. Let's head up there. Would you say we're making a beeline for it? Ha ha! Oh, baby, look at all them flowers. Jackpot, look at this. This place is filled with flowers. Look at that huge nest over there. It has to be a honey warehouse. Wait, Your Majesty, stop. That's a giant hornet nest. It's on a whole different level than bumblebees. These things are dangerous. So what? There's a buffet right in front of us. If we raid just that one, we can eat till we burst for the rest of our lives. No. With our current strength, we don't stand a chance. We have to retreat right now. Aw, don't be scared. Our kids are well fed and bursting with energy. Charge! Let's go eat something tasty. Alright. Well, this'll be fun. Oh, hell. Defend me, warriors! Yo, little help here. Oh, God. Who dares? Who dares disturb my sweet slumber? I could tell this designer was had some had some thoughts, let's say. Had some ideas they were trying to get out of their head. Anyway, you scared me. What are all those? No way, we can't beat that. Tactical retreat. Everyone run and don't look back. Hustle. Ow, 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 ow. Everything sucks. Oh, God. Run. Keep running. Sorry, minions. Your sacrifice will be honored in the coming bee empire. Ow, 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 ow. Ow, being a bee sucks. Yeah, if evil, why hot? Damn. Alright. I tried to get a taste of honey and got completely wrecked. My hive, my bees, everything got smashed to pieces. Uh-oh. I think they're gonna curb stomp us now. What kind of brat dares to put a scratch on our nest? Show your face again and I'll make sure you die for real. Yeah, you can see that she inspires loyalty in her minions. You might say that she made believers in them, out of them. Ha ha! Alright everyone, let's head back. Yes, understood, your majesty. Also, I appreciate that she's just, like, walking and the rest of her group's flying. I think she's literally just wearing a costume and we're the actual real deal. Maybe, possibly. Maybe this is some weird future where humans have evolved to command the loyalty of bees. Please, wake up! Your majesty, are you coming too? Unbelievable. Absolutely no heart. You know, we need a name for our antagonist. I'm gonna call her Beelzebub. Ugh. Anyway, we barely shook them off. We came back because we were worried about you, your majesty. But I never imagined you'd be this badly hurt. I thought I was dead. I just wanted a taste of honey. Did they really have to mob me like that? Exactly, they're such greedy jerks. And, your majesty, the rampage made our hive collapse completely. Ah, you're right, it's totally gone. Guys, gather materials now. First, let's rebuild our hive. Make it pretty again. Alright. Commence hive building. Look, it's way more yellow and shiny than the last one. It's a brand new hive. We seriously built it stitch by stitch. This time it's never going to collapse. Come on, don't just stare from the outside. Get inside already. The inside is seriously amazing. Really? Let's see how cozy our hive has gotten. Alright. Hell yeah, we can upgrade our base now. Stretch out and get some real rest, your majesty. How am I supposed to rest? Everywhere they hit me is throbbing. I can't sleep. Hey, move. I'm gonna go over there right now and make those punks pay for my honey. Pretty sure all the girls are cosplaying. This is clearly a gender species flip of the bee movie. Instead of a bee falling in love with a human, it's a human that fell in love with bees and cosplayed to infiltrate. Yeah, you know. Wait, this is the first humans figuring out that bees are guarding honey, and now we're trying to infiltrate them to learn their secrets. You got beaten up, passed out, and they dumped you like luggage. You finally made it back alive. Do you want to get tossed aside again? It's only because they fought dirty. If they'd fought fair, I would have won. Sure, totally dirty. But hold it in for now. It'll be a problem if you collapse again. Here, your majesty. Look. Ta-da! Royal jelly. I risked my life to grab it while I was running. Whoa, jackpot. Let's eat it and go right back to fighting. This girl is very simple-minded. She has two thoughts in her head. Those thoughts are honey and war. I like the cut of her jib. Anyway, do you know how important this is for your growth? Don't just gulp it down. Go to the evolution room and absorb it properly. That's how we beat the hornets. Alright. Beautiful. To the lab! This is the Royal Jelly Lab. We use the power of Royal Jelly to make our bees stronger. Yep, fair enough. So it's just upgrade. It's a skill tree, basically. Alright. This jelly we can with this jelly, we can evolve your majesty's abilities to be much stronger. First, what you can do right now is strengthen your muscles and drastically reduce your attack interval. So, fight quicker, I gotcha. Alright. Still, if I can keep punching non-stop, no reason to say no. Exactly. Don't give them a second to recover. Keep the pressure on. Alright. So, let's increase our attack interval. Beautiful. Whoa, I can't even see my hands. I'm overflowing with power. I can't hold it back. Should I smash this wall? That or if it's from super, super far into the future where their world has gone to hell, and the only way humans can get honey is to dress as a bee. Also a distinct possibility. This could be like the Turnip Boy series, where it's, like, technically post-apocalyptic if you look closely enough. You know how expensive this equipment is? It'll all break. It's too cramped and dangerous here. Let's go out that door to somewhere open. Alright. This is it. My body's light as a feather. Lead the way. At this speed, I can teach those hornet punks a lesson. Whoa, whoa, calm down. Even if you want to charge in right now, you can't. To reach the hornet nest, we have to pass through bumblebee territory. Oh yeah, yeah. You gotta pay protection money if you want to work in bumblebees territory. Can't we just slip past? They won't listen to reason. They're swarming in a mob and they've completely blocked the route. Honestly, it's better this way. Those guys have been stockpiling a ton of royal jelly in their warehouse. You're telling me they have that tasty stuff? Yes, and they're so slow and clumsy. Perfect punching bags to test your new speed. We'll clean them out on the way, warm up, grab the jelly, get even stronger, and then hit the hornets. We can snag jelly too? That's a total win. Alright, let's go knock those guys senseless. Deploy! Hell yeah! Oh, upgrades are available in the hive, eh? So yeah, it seems like this game is not going to clearly delineate between mission segments. Like, we're going to have similar gameplay controls whether we're in a dedicated mission or whether we are mucking around with base upgrades and such. Anyway, let's go over here and start some trouble. Time to go beast mode. Haha. Okay, yeah. So this is kind of our map mission screen. In we go. And I do like you can adjust difficulty from map to map. A nice little touch. Alright. To deal with the bumblebees more easily, I brought some archer bees who can attack from afar. Oh, smart. So we just poke them from a distance, huh? If we put blade bees in front and archer bees behind, the fight will be much easier. Alright. Everyone charge. Alright, cool. Alright. Worker bees are going. I see there's some trouble over here. Alright, let us start deploying forces. Hold the line, man! Nice. Alright, advance! So I actually kind of like this. You're making decisions, you're making moment-to-moment combat decisions, but you're also kind of planning on a high level and giving marching orders. Since we're not directly controlling these guys, there's a degree of trusting the AI to hold the line, but it does depend on proper positioning and making sure you can actually, you are placing them properly. Let's move these fellas up. Yeah, there's a certain satisfaction in commanding a walking wall of your forces and slowly rolling up the map on enemy positions. Let us advance one more time. Let them hold it. I'm going to move the hive up. Oh, yeah, I did hear about that. They actually explained in the credits it had some of the art assets. They said some of the art assets were apparently... Oh, god damn it. We lost everybody. Shit. Yeah, apparently they did it. Oh, no, don't pick up the hive. Wrong button, my bad. Yeah, no, there was apparently some AI using some of the art assets, which, again, it's a kind of a case-by-case basis for me. It depends a little bit how egregious it is. I'm not a fan of it. I'm also not, I don't consider it an inherent deal breaker. It is kind of a black mark. But it depends a little bit on what they do, what these specifics are. Oh, damn. Look at all that honey. Hell yeah. Literally all the music. Okay, that I hadn't heard. I'm gonna have to look into this. Alright, let's move up. Alright. Yeah, that is a shame. Because I do kind of like what it's doing in terms of a style. Because the concept is inherently simple. And I appreciate that despite all the characterization they're giving the queen bee, we're not really doing any kind of high-level strategy or narrative. This is entirely about the simple joy of expanding our bee empire. In-game background music, sound effects, UI sounds. Alright. Yeah, not great, I'll freely admit. Anyway, let's see. We need to upgrade our forces here. Alright. Blade bees. Alright, so it looks like individual unit upgrades will not carry over from map to map. That is common in the genre. Actually, can we enter the hive mid-mission? Nope, we can't. Never mind. Right, that'll be a between mission. So basically, we're going to be doing queen bee upgrades between missions, and our forces we have to upgrade individually every mission. Makes sense. Again, very standard RTS stuff, just within rather unconventional control scheme. Ah, hell. Defend me, forces! Defend your queen! Good luck, let me know how it goes. Alright. Oof. That kind of got intense out of nowhere. Alright, crowned hornet nests, eh? Alright, you know what, I'm gonna... Actually, I don't know that we can safely move it. No, we need to roll up on that thing first. No, wait, shit. Advance! Alright. There's that jelly. God damn. Okay, these things are kicking our ass here. Yeah, there's a few RTSs I've played that are like this, where you're basically running a single command unit, and indirectly leading. You're leading forces, but you're not directly controlling them. So to get them to do what you want them to do, you kind of have to be mindful of where you deploy them. There was one, I want to say, back in 1994, I think, called, or maybe 1995, called Uprising, where it's basically kind of like Command & Conquer meets Mech Warrior. You're basically driving around a super tank. Oh, did I miss any secrets here? Not a great grade. I'm guessing that's what the timer is for. But yeah, Uprising, you basically have a Mech Warrior vehicle, a super tank with an array of guns and other features you upgrade, and you roll around the battlefield destroying stuff, but you also call in units and deploy them wherever they're needed, and they'll kind of either mill around defending the place or perform their specific targeting or function in combat. Like soldiers will attempt to plant charges on buildings. They're one of the few that can. Bombers will strike the indicated target. Tanks and aircraft will have will strike at various soft targets, and if they will try to engage various targets that they actually can damage. They normally can't damage buildings, but later upgrades will give them some ability to do so. Let's see here. This lets us attack faster. Oh, wait, no, it's pheromone range. Oh, so we can give orders further away. Nice. Oh, we get poison. Or, let's see. Attack up, huh? Yeah, you know what? We'll go with the... Do we have enough for that? Damn, not enough, no. We can increase hive HP. We can increase our max HP. No, we'll save up for that. I want to get the, I want to get that venom upgrade. That sounds sweet. The bees ivory, yes! But yeah. Uprising is an interesting game. And, you know, there's almost no plot to it. Basically, you're the good guys, here's the bad they're the bad guys, here's your super tank. Go ahead and have fun. But it is kind of interesting, because you'll call in a bunch of forces, run interference with your tank, try to destroy priority targets. You can actually hop into the main gun of your citadel and use that to repel, because the enemy will be doing the same thing and deploying their forces across the planet, whatever planet you're on. So you're kind of juggling priorities as you try to press the attack while also defend the territories you have. It's a very interesting game. Anyway, looks like we have a much nastier hive up ahead. Hey guys! Surprisingly, things are going well. Just call me Mr. Bean. Whoosha! Anyway, the further we go, the more of them come in swarms. At this rate, our bees won't hold out. That's why I brought Shield Bee, who can withstand their attacks. Put them on the front line with the Blade Bees. Alright, so we're gonna have Tank Bees. Badass. Alright. Alright, we're gonna let our bees do their work here. Carry on, men. Alright. Time to deploy. Alright. Nice. Yeah, we're gonna need to start soaking up some damage. Our boys are pretty squishy. Alright. Nice. Advance, fellas. Kinda curious how many bees we actually have at our disposal total. Like, are we... I don't know, are we just churning them out on a regular basis? Are we, like, recycling the dead ones, Universal Soldier style? Zombies, if you will. Ugh. Anyway. Minions, defend me! Alright. Actually... let's just spam. Progress shall be paved on 1,000 corpses. Actually kind of also giving me a They Are Billions vibe, where when you roll up on a... oh god, okay, we're gonna get our ass kicked here. Carry on, minions. I have utmost faith in you. But yeah, when you roll up on like a village full of... an infected village, and every building you try to destroy has more and more zombies that pop up with every hit you have. Kind of the impression I'm getting here, where you're just trying to manage the flood of enemies. Why are the bees making mew noises? Why indeed? Alright, one's down. Hell yeah, royal jelly. Alright. Time to pack up and move. Alright, drink deep, everyone. What kind of upgrades do we have here? Alright, here we go. Actually, hang on a second. So yeah, you can see it's a very breezy take on real-time strategy. This is not trying to deal with any sophisticated tactics. But you know, how often is your average how often does your average StarCraft match boil down to whoever can manage a worker rush first? I'm always interested in games that take a genre and remove complicating elements until you are left with the basics of strategy. Kind of like what stuck out to me with Fate Go and stuff like Dive Kick and such. Kind of what Clair Obscure does, actually. There's definitely some complexity to it, just not in the ways you would usually expect in the genre. Anyway, let's advance. It does kind of feel like a gang fight. We're just giving orders to our minions. Slowly rolling up on the enemy base. Also kind of feels like freedom fighters. There we go. And there's a certain appeal to that. Just being part of a mob and slowly but surely rolling up the carpet on the enemy. Alright, hold on a second. Our boys need some more beef to their sting. That's it. Advance! Forward, minions. I shall be right behind you. Just call me a backup stinger. Ha! Alright, we need to start clearing some targets here. Ah! Shit, getting my ass kicked. Defend me, minions! I wonder if there's like a stack ball command. Maybe that is just cute. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, beautiful. Go Team Hive. The other game this is kind of reminding me of is Overlord. Specifically later in the game where you've just got like a pile of minions following you around doing the majority of the fighting. You're still intervening whenever there's anything special that needs to be done. But you genuinely start feeling like you are... Ooh, what's that exclamation mark? Where's he going? Yeah, no, you genuinely start feeling like you're at the head of a swarm of these guys. Oh god! Defend me, bees! Alright. Nope. Alright. Oh wait, hang on a second. Yeah, it's always kind of the challenge of an RTS to be tactically dense enough that you're not just clicking like building a massive tanks and clicking attack move, but is still broadly accessible. Kinda came up. Oh, what's this guy? Is that a worker bee? Yo. Yeah, we ain't having that. Yeah, this kinda came up in another RTS I played recently called Tempest Rising, which is interesting. Oh. It was interesting, but definitely had a case where it was a bit too micro-heavy. It felt like every unit had some overly elaborate combination of features and uses. And... passing grade. Yeah, every unit in that game felt like it had a couple features too many. It was kind of like the worst parts of Red Alert 3. Greetings from the land of 1974's The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, an altogether moderately entertaining movie where you come for the Harryhausen claymation and stay for the Tom Baker villainy. Also not the piece. Good to have you, Zero. And yes, that one is a thoroughly entertaining classic. Classic might be a bit strong, but it is a fun movie. Anyway. Sting operation. Noise. Was the name of the achievement. Alright. We'll spend some jelly. Can we finally get the poison? Yes! Beautiful. It's a longer command range. I think we might also want some better health, and might as well upgrade the hive. So you can see it's not a very elaborate skill tree. This is a very... again, we're dealing with a simplified take on the genre. So they're going to take the basic elements of real-time strategy and distill them into something you can easily control with a few button clicks. Oh. Anyway, our empire expands from sea to shining sea. Ooh, I don't like the looks of these guys. What's going on here? What's all this then? Why are there death bees? What's going on here? Okay, the contaminated hornet nest zone. A contaminated hornet nest zone where murky smoke settles low. Why are there fire bees? What the fuck happened to this world? Oh god, this is gonna get real dark real fast. Your Majesty, the deeper we go into the forest, the enemies are evolving into strange forms and getting stronger. Tell me about it. I'm even seeing green hornets I've never seen before. It's getting dangerous. So I trained our bees in advance so they can handle these stronger enemies. Now blade bees can evolve into reaper bee, and shield bees into armor bee. Yeah, climate change, apparently. They're mutating. Yeah, they're not fire bees, they're fire horn... Oh, Jesus Christ, that's right. Those are a thing, aren't they? Anyway, so... let's evolve them and mow everything down. Alright. Oh, these are our upgrades. Oh, shit. So we get either the death bees or the... I completely glossed over what the other option was. Honestly, if anything, I identify with this protagonist. Only just kind of there and pointing her forces in the right direction and just sitting back and nomming on royal jelly. That's the life for me. Yeah. Remember to be myself. Yeah, no kidding. Anyway, I'll go with the Reaper bees. I like the sound of that. Oh, we get both? Sick! Now we're talking. So, hold on a second. Oh, I see. So we get a expanded tech tree for them. Alright, evolve into Reaper Bee. So, let's see. Blade Bee evolves into Reaper Bee with lightning fast strikes, cuts down multiple enemies at once, and instantly executes low HP targets. Sweet! And the Shield Bee is basically a floating sea mine, apparently. Upload to YouTube, it'll be a nice bee movie. Yeah, I'll have to do that thing where every time I say the word bee, it gets faster. Alright. Start harvesting. And what is... Ow! Oh god! Oh, poison! Ow! Ugh. Alright, okay. Avoid the purple men. Purple is bad. Alright. Oh god. Alright. Forward! Alright. Good harvesting. That honey's not gonna grab itself. Yeah, bees hate the great Kool-Aid. Yeah, I'll say. Alright. Just keep up the fire, man. We got this. We'll be nomming at that royal jelly before you know it. Well, I will be. You guys get regular jelly. Back from your Win Eclipse draft. Hey! Good to have you, Mirage. How'd it go out there? What's this then? Is this something we can harvest? No. Ran elves against goblins, went like 1-1 both rounds. Alright. Gave as good as you got. Oh. Good. Oh god, what was that? Oh no! Oh god, we have suicide bomber bees! Shit! Oh! This was not of the best, Yuri. I was not informed about how serious this sectarian conflict would be. Yeah, it's, here. Hang on a second. Let me apply some upgrades here. And yeah, I think we might be able to squeeze through here, maybe possibly. Alright. Oh god. Defend me! Defend me, minions! Alright. Elves in that set are black-green and able to do a lot of surveil. Look at the top card of your deck, put it in the graveyard or leave it on top, and a little bit of reanimating themselves. Fave card milled me for 4, then let me add 1 of 4 to my own hand. Nice! Let's see, can we fly over this? Okay, see, this is lending credence to my theory that we are not actually a bee. We're just dressing like this to somehow command their loyalty. Anyway. Alright, off we go. I don't like the look of that guy. Alright. Forward, minions! Oh, what the hell? Oh god, they're bulking up. Alright, here we go. Oh shit. Oh right. Packing up the hive brings everyone back. Bugger. Ah! Oh god. Sorry, minions. Apparently we got hit by like a bee car bomb or something. This is getting serious. Ways to draw cards without drawing cards. Yeah, my understanding is that higher level play is all about deck control. Oh god. Ugh. Not necessarily having singular overpowered cards so much as just having options. Yeah. Suicide keyboard improvised device. Oh god, okay, there's a... I don't know what that thing is, but... Suicide hornet nest, that's it. Alright, we gotta take it out. Forward, men! Did you know I used to be a physicist? I came up with sting theory. Haha! Alright, oh god. We got Hulk bees over here. What's this? Berserk hornet nest. Take that out next, man. Beautiful. Alright. Sit tight. So yeah, the other thing this game is doing is kind of limiting the amount of multitasking you really need to do. You can split your forces up and have some of them defend choke points and such, but you're also moving your hive regularly to the point where it's kind of only necessary in short bursts. And also you're graded on time. So it seems like they still want you to move fast and just smash things. Oh god. Ugh. Ow! Advance! Valhalla awaits! Alright. Man. These guys have a real beef with us. Haha! Alright. GG, everyone. Now, let's see if we can upgrade to Reaper Bees. I want to try those fellas out. Yes! Oh yeah! Alright. Juice them fellas too, why not? Here we go. You're commanding bees, you have no men. They're men at heart, Ivory. I hate words. Draft events, so powers are generally lower and everyone starts with no cards. Pulls from the same pool. Taking that Overlord if they were around. Nice, nice. Oh, shit. Oh. Don't back up just yet. We got more suicide bees. Ah, oh god. Oh god, we have demon bees now. Alright. Oh god, what the hell is that? Oh god, they poisoned us now. Shit. We got bees with, like, suicide bombs and chemical weapons. We have terrorist bees, man. What the hell? This is way more intense than I was expecting. Alright. Let's upgrade to our armor bees. We need to fill us to last longer. But yeah, you can see that the rhythm of play, the mechanics of play are relatively simple. But there is something satisfying in building up a bigger and bigger strike team. And starting with a relatively basic hive, but evolving to take on more sophisticated threats. It's definitely hitting that classic RTS niche, RTS itch of starting with very basic maneuvers until you actually can afford a giant army to steamroll through it. In this case, this is very much the point of it. Oh god. That's gonna be a mess. Yeah, war is sweet hell. Yeah, we're basically doing the Terran lift your building and move it around thing like in StarCraft. Alright, we're gonna plunk this down right here. Defend me! Defend the hive! In that order. Alright, good news is we heal, so we can just sit on the hive for a while. Nice. GG, everyone. Outstanding! GG, team. Gather around for a hive 5. Haha! Goddamn, still a C. Gotta step my game up. Alright. Let's see what else we can get. Alright. So, this will improve attack power. Honestly, that kind of seems useful. You start flexing our muscle a little bit. Critical strike. Pheromone range. Yeah, that could also be useful. Let's see. Collector bee. Yeah, those dudes work hard enough. Move speed. Damn, not enough. Auto healing? Yes. Then what if I do? Run into Cazadors. Oh, Jesus Christ. Those will be like some boss bees. That'll be our endgame nemesis. Good job, team. Carry on. Oh, fucking hell. Okay. I saw the fire bees. I did not see... Oh, are these our guys? Are we gonna get the beefcake bees? I think so. That was kind of the case with the reaper bees back here. Wasp, actually, yeah. Anyway, a flame bee forest steeped in the smell of soot. Alright. Your Majesty, wait. The terrain is strange. The forest is way too straight and wide open. What's the problem? If the path's clear, it's easier. Let's just get through it quickly. It's too open, which is why it's suspicious. Just in case, let's evolve into some hot-headed ones. Giant bee and cannon bee. Oh, hot-headed friends? Nice. If anything pops out, we'll teach it a lesson. Alright. So I guess that's an upgrade for archers, and... that's another form of shield bees. Alright, so I'm guessing this lets them gain some offensive abilities. Oh, so yeah, evolves into a giant bee, reborn as a single massive unit, becomes an impregnable fortress that dominates the battlefield. Alright, so it makes these dudes super buff and super strong, or lets them get armor that actually blocks and apparently reflects damage. Nonsense, Zero. It's gonna be perfectly fine. Let's, let our boys do their work here. Alright, here we go. Now we're one-shotting these standard bumblebees. I did find it funny that our starter enemies are basically the nicest bees in nature. In spite of my antipathy for bees, bumblebees are genuinely cute and adorable, and should be encouraged to be around your household plants and garden area. Wasps, however, are nature's asshole. Kill on sight. Why should have just said it? Don't let it stink too much. Harsh but fair, Zero. Oh yeah, wasps are guaranteed to be our final boss enemy here. Hornets are going to be just the starter enemy, and that weirdly attractive black bee leading them is going to be like our, Disc 1 villain that we deal with, and then we find out she's serving, like, the bee lord or something, or the wasp lord. Yeah. The children are the most delicious of the animal kingdom. Alright, let's upgrade. Yeah, Bee Kerrigan, basically. Alright. Let's try these cannon bees. Yeah. Need a little more honey. You know what that means? Advance! Oh god! Defend me! Ow! 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 Everything sucks! Damn it! Who gave them flamethrowers? That's not fair. This is lending credence to my theory that this is actually the post-apocalypse and they have acquired human weaponry. Oh, here we go. Bring it down. And quickly now, there we go. Oh god! Nice. Just call me the Six Sting Samurai. Haha! That was a weird movie. Anyway. So a couple more ground hornet nests. So yeah, you can see that they have simplified the process of... base building is being generous. You're basically just moving your resource collector around and using that to upgrade your army on the go. And the meat of the game is slowly pushing the front forward on mostly linear maps of the few side areas. Actually reminds me a little bit of Infested Planet, which kind of had a similar sense of gradually pushing forward against a horde of enemies, seizing strategic points, and ultimately working working in relatively confined spaces. Yeah, I mean, that was the... eventually you had to push the attack because... Oh god. Are they laying artillery down now, or was that a suicide BMS? Yeah, you kind of had to get aggressive to actually take territory. Because the horde was just gonna keep coming. Yeah. We turned into Verdun too. Yeah, occasionally... Well, it was a case where so many missions were just standard... like, build and bash, sensing vibrations in the bushes on both sides. They're hiding there. Shit. Seriously? Fight fair. Why the cheap shot from behind? Don't panic. Split the squad in half. One half pushes through the front, the other half handles the ones coming from behind. If we're open on both ends, it's a wipe. Oh god, damn it. We're... we open up a two-front war. Great. Alright. Let's move the hive up. But yeah, occasionally they would throw something reasonably complex. Like, you'd have to defend a scientist who was, like, extracting samples from hives or something, and they were kind of moving autonomously. Or you had some starter territories that were very quickly seized and you had to make do with whatever was left, that kind of thing. It was an interesting game. I enjoyed it. Alright, let's get some upgrades here. Right, we need cannon bees. Alright. That'll do. Upgrade to blade bees. Let's ignore the really jacked bees for now. Those terrify me for reasons I can't explain. Alright. There we go. God damn. It does kind of feel like there should be something hidden around here. Actually, let's spread our units around just a little bit. So... get our ass kicked. Jesus Christ. Okay, somebody's planting explosives on us. We need to take the pressure off here. Let's deal with this hive first. Yeah, something is coming from the left. There is absolutely... Oh god! Something this way. Where the hell are they coming from? Oh god! Oh god, we're almost dead. Defend me, minions! Just gonna sit here. Oh god. Why is it? What is this? Poisoning my hive. Stop that. That's where I keep all my honey. Okay. All is peaceful again. Damn it. I said all was peaceful. You are ruining the vibe, sir. Yeah, no, there is absolutely something here. So I think that's what we gotta do. We plant some forces here. The rest of us, this way. Nice, Zero. Yeah, no, we could use a break after all this. Okay, so... no hive up here? Are there just enemies spawning? Are you funning me, game? Ow. Ow, ow, ow. This is the forest where everything sucks. Huh. Maybe there were just, like, random mobs there? Alright, no, I think we need to regroup, advance. Just stick to the plan. Plan is sound. What we really gotta do is... oh no, oh god. No, no, go away, bees. Well, since we're dealing with bee terrorists, what we gotta do is, like, find different factions to sort of play off each other and get them to attack people who are not us. No, ow. Damn it! Alright, good. Keep up the fire, man. Hold the line. For every one they kill, 10 more will take their place. Unless one of those is me, and then we're all screwed. Alright. Good. Oof. Okay. Now there's definitely some enemies spawning here. That's a little bit sus. I know there was one mission of, I think the original Company of Heroes, where you're like trying to seize a dock or something, and for some reason there would always be a German AT gun that would spawn like every few minutes from some corner of the map, not from any production facilities. Just pop in out of nowhere and harass you constantly. And those things are just enough, they do just enough damage to armor to be a problem. But they're manned by infantry, so you can still take them down fairly quickly. It's just kind of a persistent nuisance. And I think, for me, that mission went on long enough that the area they spawned from actually became jammed with unmanned AT guns. And they could no longer reach the base. Yeah, God almighty. There was some bullshit in Company of Heroes. Which is a shame, because I think overall it's a good RTS. It's just very, bit of a learning curve when your formative years are like Command & Conquer. Spend your money, summon buff bees. Spend your honey, yeah. Alright, you know what, fine, we'll evolve the giant bees. This ought to be funny. Oh dear God, look at that guy. Do I get more than one? No, I just have one. Oh, damn. Alright, so instead of, like, a legion of shield bees, we just have one giant dude. This, like, attack on, like a Titan from Attack on Titan bee. On our side. Oh, shit, no! This is what they meant. Yeah, Homeworld definitely had some missions where they were just constantly kept the pressure on. Beefcake. Alright. We advance. Alright, I'm gonna drop this here. Oi! Stop burning our hive, it's very effective. There's gotta be some hidden hive or something I missed. Maybe on the other side. Alright. Almost there. Advance team, we got this. Peace and tranquility at last. Still can't get above C grade. I'm just barely passing in my role as Queen Bee. I mean, you know, it is my first day. Let's see. Critical strike, that's useful. Collection B. Fast return. Oh, okay. That sounds handy. I know, right? I'm trying for that, and it's just not happening. We'll do one more mission. Oh god. Radioactive bees. Oh wait, those might be us. We might get like radiation bees and sniper bees. And then there's this fucking thing. The Veiled Forest. A shadow where what's near stays clear and everything far dissolves away. Alright. Let's see if we can hustle our way through this. Phew, we shook them off. What is this place? There's smoke all over the place. It's a smoke screen, they spread. If you enter that smoke, your view is blocked and you can't attack. So I trained Sniper B and Split B. They were great against smoke screens. Nice! Guys, don't go into the smoke. Hold position outside and set up. Pour on the firepower from outside the smoke. Blow them all away. Alright, cool. So, what evolution are these? Alright, so Archer Bees go into these, Split Bees. So, when destroyed, it splits into 2 subunits and continues fighting. Excellent for holding the line. Yeah, literally radioactive bees. We got them working for us now. The Archer of B evolves into Sniper B. Long range, powerful single-shot damage, but attack intervals very slow. Alright. So, okay, so Blade Bees turn into the Split Bees. And Archer Bees turn into the Sniper Bees. Fair enough. Alright. Let's sniff around. So is this harmful to be in? No, we just can't see. Alright. Up we go. Good one, Orange. Come on. There's the chili. Hell yeah. I need more. I'm wasting away. I'm turning into a real beanpole. Ha! Alright. Let's start with the Split Bees. Beautiful. Ah, so we actually have a fork of the road here. Ah, shit. Okay. No, we're gonna want the Goon Squad here. Why can't you just be normal about this? Oh man, bee puns are great. They basically just write themselves. Alright, hold the line. I'm gonna go get our base. Oh, I see. That's down here is the cooldown for my warp back to the hive button. Nice. Clean them out, boys. I'm just gonna find a spot to put this down here. I mean, maybe not the best plan to drop our base of operations next to an enemy mining base. But, you know, through sheer attrition, we can eventually get the job done. I think, honestly, that's kind of what's interesting about this, is the way you are encouraged to fight, gather resources, and expand your zone of control on the move. Also, I don't know why that is selected. There we go. Yeah, you're just constantly rolling from one objective to the next. Steadily improving your forces. And generally making a mess of things and moving quickly from one target to the next. It's an interesting twist. And you know, RTS is something of an underrepresented genre these days. There are still titles being made. I did mention Tempest Rising recently, but it seems like there aren't really any, like, genre leaders these days like there were in the days of, like, Westwood and Blizzard. And, you know, Blizzard technically still exists, but obviously they haven't touched the genre in ages. So it's pretty much just down to whatever company feels like trying to invoke the Call of Duty the Command and Conquer feel. Brain farted. Not nearly enough, honey. But yeah, it basically comes down to what company is trying to ape that Command and Conquer feel. Because that is probably one that people have the most fondness for these days. Oh shit. Stand by your post, damn it! Cover me as I move the hive. Yeah, Blizzard is mired in controversy. They're running out of characters to turn gay for brownie games. Yeah, that's the other thing. Every time I feel like there is a limit to how bad things can be there, I find out, like, oh, hey, of course Kotick was involved with, like, some Saudi investment firm. Or, of course, there's, like, systemic harassment or something. I wouldn't say they're the progenitor of toxic work culture in the industry, but they are certainly one of the more standout examples. Yeah, what the hell? Oh god, we got steampunk poison bees? What the fuck? What is this game? Oh man. Yeah, it do take a lot to get the State Department of Labor to sue you. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, I feel like we are seeing an industry that never went through its period of labor militancy. And that's kind of what it takes to get management to take you seriously. Yeah, there just wasn't really the aggressive push for workers' rights the way you saw in, like, mining or textiles. Manufacturing, that kind of thing. So the, you know, negative working conditions sort of build into a critical mass. Is that a furnace? Sorry, I'm reacting to the craziness here. Actually, let me get some sniper bees up. You know, basically things have to get really bad before people start considering the dreaded U word. Yeah, that's advanced shitty for a place, exactly. Alright. We'll let them hold the line there. Damn, we got some smoke launchers there. Defend the workers! We must acquire honey at all costs. But yeah, to stop my rambling and get to the point, basically, it does take collective action to push for worker power in the face of workplace abuses, and that is something that most white-collar industries in general, and the games industry in particular, have pushed back hard to prevent. Let's get the Colossus Bee out, why not? Yeah, the U word should come as early as possible to avoid the issues. Yeah, that's the thing. The management-labor relationship doesn't need to be adversarial, but far too many far too many working environments view the interaction as zero-sum. That productivity has to be maximized, that the line must always go up. Well, there are sustainable ways to build a workplace that don't do that. And, you know, I'm not saying every workplace is like this. But it does feel like it feels very much like a lot of management in these especially egregious cases we're all raised on the same handful of ideas, and it takes truly dire situations or extreme work or pushback to get them out of that mindset. Alright, go ahead and harvest, y'all. I see. Looks like we got a big loop-de-loop area. Almost done. Yeah, as an example of how extreme as an example of how dire the circumstances can get, one of the more interesting examples of mine worker unionizing was the Battle of Blair Mountain, which was literally a case where striking mine workers in Kentucky, I believe, organized into an impromptu militia and battled with a combination of strikebreaker forces and some local government assistance. There's some, like, state-level government assistance. We're talking dudes that are, like, openly shooting rifles at each other, planes, or, like military aircraft were doing recon missions. It's one of the more incredible stories of the early 20th century, early 20th century organizing, and almost no history book in school covers this. And you know, there's like a bunch of smaller, no less interesting stories in that vein that you kind of have to go out of your way to read in to learn about. Yeah, exactly. You can feel the desire to not tell people, oh hey, you can just, like, you can just not work. You can just grab a gun and shoot people. And you know, it's not that things turned out well for the miners specifically. But the point is, this is what happens when conditions are allowed to deteriorate, and there is no healthy interplay between man and labor. Sometimes you literally do have to fight for your right to organize, and that can make— oh, Jesus, fuck, what are these? Schools are made to teach factory workers. Why do they teach us about violent revolution and part of the workers? Yeah. It does kind of depend on... It does kind of depend on which teachers you get. Oh, god damn it. Still got a grade C. No, I had a pretty awesome history teacher that did actually cover some of the more interesting chapters in labor history. Not that one. That I had to read about myself. But yeah, I think we'll call it there. I think you get a sense for what kind of game this is. It's a charming, simplified, but nuanced take on real-time strategy where you're just commanding a singular unit and getting your forces to push in kind of a high-level strategic way and not necessarily micromanaging each individual warrior. You are giving them placement orders, but you are kind of separate from that. Your concerns are more pushing... Your concerns are more the big picture of battle, and less about building up enough enemies to do a tank rush or whatever. It's an interesting experiment, and I kind of like it. It's definitely charming and fun. Can't argue with the price. I'm gonna poke at this a little bit more and see what other crazy mutations it throws at me. But yeah, go to page 436 so we can learn about killing your boss because he made a shitty, miserable work environment where only he and the company profit. Exactly. charming, wholesome lessons that you can only get from a comfy bee game. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. See you next time.